Hi, guys. I'm Phil Town from Rule One Investing. Today, I want to talk to you about the future of Social Security. Will it run out soon? So, between longer life expectancies, we got potential of hyperinflation, a smaller working age population, and all these baby boomers, my whole generation, nearing retirement. Man, the future of Social Security might be in trouble, right? I mean, we all think about it. It's in the news. So how will this affect all these future generations? And very specifically, will you have enough money to retire on? So let's see whether Social Security will run out soon or whether it's going to stick around and somehow we're going to get over this hump. Now, let me first remind you how Social Security works. Social Security is made up of two federal trust funds, okay? That's the big government running things. The Old Age and Survivors Insurance, that's OASI, Trust Fund, and the Disability Insurance, the DI Trust Fund. And those two things are the Social Security program. So the Social Security trust funds hold money that's not needed in the current year to pay benefits and administrative costs, and they invested in special treasury bonds from the U.S. government that are guaranteed by the government. Okay, so that's how it's supposed to work. Now, a market rate of interest is paid to the trust funds on the bonds that they hold, and when the bonds get to maturity or they're needed to pay benefits, then the Treasury redeems them and pays out Social Security. All right, cool. Now, the Social Security program has become, I don't know if it was supposed to be like this, but it's become this, a pay-as-you-go type program. The benefits are paid out now, the ones that are going out to you guys who are retired now, those are coming from the payroll taxes that are collected from today's workers that are supposed to go to their Social Security. This starts to sound like a Ponzi scheme. Let's continue. Now, lately there's been some talk about the potential signs that Social Security might not be able to collect enough money from current workers to pay out to the retired people. Less than half of the Americans out there right now, less than half of us, believe that Social Security will be able to pay them a benefit when they retire. Now, that's a huge problem because over half of the country's retirees say that Social Security isn't just a part of what they're doing, it is the major source of income in their retirement, with several more people depending on that than IRAs, 401ks, or other plans, right? So the ratio is very definitely skewed towards Social Security being the single most important thing that people are looking toward for their retirement. So that's pretty important. Now, in fact, reports are showing that the reserves of Social Security, that is the Social Security that's available above and beyond all the administrative costs and everything, that those will be completely depleted by the year 2035, okay? That is probably well within my lifetime. So, okay, that's not good news, right? And the annual taxes that are coming in are expected to cover only about 3/4 of the benefits each year after that. Okay, so this is going to get a little sketchy. So let's look into why this is happening. All right, so the first reason is that cash flow into Social Security has been low, meaning that the funds aren't collecting enough money through taxes to cover what it's paying out to the beneficiaries. In 2016, the deficit of $75 billion was covered by the interest earned on the trust fund. In 2019, interest covered almost $81 billion of benefit payments. But starting in 2021, the interest will not be enough to cover the shortfall. Instead, Social Security is going to have to start to draw down from the trust fund itself to help pay for the benefits. Now, what that means is, of course, you're eating your seed corn. You guys all know that farming thing, right? It comes from back in the 1800s when people would not get enough of a crop, and so they would have to eat the corn that they'd put aside to plant for next year. And of course, that is doom. All right, so experts now predict that the reserves for Social Security could run out by 2035. At that point, Social Security would only be able to pay about 79% of the promised benefits. So that's going to be a real big problem. right? I mean, you've got retired people who are depending on that, and they're going to run out. They're going to run out. So another reason it's a big problem is that baby boomers have started to retire over the years now and will continue to retire into the next decade, meaning there are more and more retirees and fewer working people. That's because the baby boom generation is gigantic. There's like 75 million of us. We are the largest generation until our kids, basically, who have now formed a new generation that is about the same size, maybe a little bigger. Now, more people will be taking money out of the fund, but there's going to be fewer people paying into it. And that creates a problem. And of course, on top of all that, this pandemic we've been going through, which, oh, please, Lord, is now coming to an end if it doesn't somehow, twist into some new terrible thing. We're going to get over this. That has made a huge impact on Social Security funds because unemployment rates have reached all-time high. We got in a really, really deep, quick recession. That resulted in a lot of reduced earnings, right? Reduced taxes, lower interest rate. And now we've got the start of hyperinflation, which the Federal Reserve is starting to think is maybe not entirely short-term. All right, so these things all affect both the tax income and the benefits of the program. And as a result, they're having offsetting effects on the program as a whole. It's a big deal, you guys. So what might happen to Social Security and what does it mean for the next generations? That's kind of hard to predict, right? I mean, it's difficult to say for sure what kind of income people are going to have in a hyperinflation kind of an economy. But here are some potential next steps for the future of Social Security. If benefits aren't cut, then payroll taxes on the working people are going to have to increase to cover all of the costs. Taxes would need to increase by about 3.14 percentage points starting now in order to increase revenues enough to sustain the program. Somehow, I just can't see politicians from either side of the aisle jacking up Social Security percentage points in payroll tax on the working people of the country. That's a great way to get unelected. So I doubt that that's going to happen. Now, another likelihood that could help the Social Security program is the retirement age may rise to 70. I think that's a lot more likely, right? A lot more. Partially because people are kind of accepting the fact that they're going to have to keep working. So future generations, including starting right now, are going to maybe work longer. I think we already are. But why not just make it part of the deal? You work longer before you start collecting your money, and that keeps more money in the funds for a longer time to draw interest and could then possibly make the program solvent. I like that one. I think that's pretty reasonable. And I think people are willing to do it. So it's probably politically doable. Also, the Social Security cost of living could be reduced. In other words, right now, retirees receiving Social Security benefits typically see our checks increase slightly most years to keep pace with inflation based, not on real inflation, but based on the consumer price index, which could be like lately, like it was a 1.6% increase or something, could be up to a 2% increase. Now, the thing is with the CPI, consumer price index, is that they sort of don't count things that are part of what we have to spend money on, like, for example, rent and housing. They don't count that. They have all kinds of offsets on food. So although food has been increasing like crazy, it doesn't show up in CPI as a big increase. Energy, in other words, the three major, healthcare, the four major things that are going on out there that are inflating like crazy are adjusted into the CPI, which is why it isn't keeping up with inflation either. So they could just say, well, let's only increase it 1% a year. The problem is with hyperinflation, where you've got inflation at, 5%, 8%, 12% a year, like we had in the end of the 1970s, low cost of living adjustments could make it really hard for future generations living on fixed income to pay expenses, right? Where housing's going up, rent's going up, rising every year. Imagine what that would do to assisted living and that sort of thing. So seniors are going to spend more on healthcare costs, not less. And those costs tend to rise faster than the cost of living. and rather than inflation. So basically what this means, if all this happens, is that benefit checks very likely will not keep pace with hyperinflation. And those people who are relying heavily on Social Security are going to have to find ways to reduce spending to make their ends meet. I'm sorry, it's really, really hard to deal with that. And politicians simply can't bring themselves to do it. It's considered the, quote, third rail of politics. You touch it, you die. So bottom line, there are solutions to the shortfall of Social Security funds, but holy crud, getting that through Congress is just about impossible. So for now, just don't count on it. I wouldn't count on Social Security to get you through your retirement. I would say if you're in your 20s and 30s, just, basically don't count on it at all. We may not be entirely certain what the future holds for Social Security, but it's very likely, it's going to get cut. I don't think we'll run out entirely. There will be some benefits, just probably a lot less than expected, and expect to see the retirement age keep, being pushed later. Now, what I'm going to tell you guys is super important. The best way to secure your future is to take charge of your own finances and your own financial investing. It's really important that you stop giving this over, especially if you're over 40. It's really important that you stop handing your future over to people who don't have your future as their number one priority. They have their future and their income as their priority. That's all of Wall Street. So if you're busy right now just putting money into the market because it's been doing pretty well the last decade, you're, I think, going to be in for a pretty big shock over the next 15 to 20 years. And I really feel for you if you haven't learned to invest using the principles of the best investors in the world that we call Rule 1 investing. You can do that, okay, here comes a plug, by attending my next workshop. So come there. We would love to have you do that. And we will teach you in 3 days how to be one of the best investors in the world. It isn't rocket science, or we wouldn't be able to do it. It's just following some principles that have worked for 90 years. And those principles will allow you to overcome the deficits of Social Security and not have to depend on it. Now, I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you think is going to happen to Social Security in the next few years, or maybe in the next 10 years? So leave a comment below with your answer, you guys, and I'll be sure to follow up with you. And thanks for watching. Now go play. Guys, if you enjoyed this video and you feel it was valuable in teaching you more about the future of Social Security, just hit the like button and please share the video with your friends. And if you want more investing content, just subscribe to my channel. And by the way, don't forget to click on the button for a free gift. And thanks again for watching. See ya.